It is Sunday evening here in Oklahoma City, and I am packing to go to Greece. So I have a level one in Greece. Basically, level one is how to change your mind. Change your mind. That means giving you the skills and understandings of how to make direct changes in your mind. Of course, I teach eutaptics, FasterEFT, but what really is it? It's direct mindfulness, which basically means how your brain actually works and how to change it right now. Because if you understand the neurology about how our minds will update memories, and basically knowing how to change your memories inside your head, because you look at it, why do you depressed? Why are you angry? Why do you have health issues? It's because of how your brain wires things together. And of course, you may have heard the cliche, neurons that fire together wire together. But let me explain exactly what's happening. Some of you may have seen some of my videos where, I can crack a joke and all of a sudden it will collapse a really traumatic memory, or ask a silly question, or actually create a mental flip. And it's because of how the brain actually naturally updates itself. And it's kind of like this. This is how the brain does it. Let's say you meet somebody and you meet them and you really like this person. You spend time with them, you talk to them, they're articulate, they're intelligent, you feel good, and you connect with this person and you just feel really good about this person, male or female, doesn't matter who it is. And then all of a sudden, maybe a week later or 2 or 3 days later, you meet someone and then you said, I met this really cool person, I was talking to them, and all of a sudden the person you're talking to has this scour look on their face and they go, are you serious, that person? And then they start talking about stuff, drawing pictures, and while you're thinking about that person that you had a really good, we talked about the same person and this person, and then all of a sudden the person in front of you is start giving you what we would call it linking or dumping on a good experience. And next thing you know, that you had a good experience, and now you talk to someone else and they start feeding you information that may not even be true, could be based on the person who's talking's own personal perception. Then all of a sudden you start linking bad feelings to this person. Next time you see this person, you may avoid them, or may not have anything to do with them, or be very cautious because you were giving new data. Now, this is an example of how the mind actually does update itself, which means it's really kind of bizarre is that, when I work with clients and they have what we call borrow memories. I mean, they have memories that are traumatizing them and affect them in such a negative way, and yet they never, ever, ever personally experience this memory. And we call it a borrowed memory. It's like your mother tells a story about your childhood or your birth, and they draw on horrible experiences and feelings. And as you're a little boy, little girl, and you listen to this stuff, you start drawing a picture in your mind of what happened to you. And then you have this strong emotional feeling, and you start going to therapies, and you go, why am I so screwed up? And the doc says, I don't know. It's kind of look inside your head. And your mind goes to this false memory, and you start linking feelings and emotions to a memory you never really saw, you were told about because your brain couldn't record it. Then all of a sudden you build an entire life system on a false memory because you've been linking and dumping into a memory. And most memories are actually that way. Most of the times, anytime, the neurologists have discovered that what happens is when you visit a memory, your brain will go to the memory, it'll bring it up, and then whatever you have before you went to the memory, let's say, for example, you're feeling really depressed and you're feeling down and you go, why? Why am I so screwed up? And your mind pops in a memory. Now, before you said, why am I so screwed up? You're feeling what? Not so healthy. And then you visit this memory, and actually what your brain is doing is taking this emotions before you went to the memory and putting it into the memory, and then the brain actually rewrites the whole memory as you visit the memory, and it goes back into your database. Now, most people don't realize that memories are not actually the real event. It's recorded, and also we can see over time that memories actually do change. And there was a research done with the Apollo accident where it exploded, and they interviewed all the people who witnessed it. 1 year later or 2 years later, they interviewed them again, and the stories were completely different than the original ones, because the neurology of the mind keeps changing because it has an unconscious way to update itself. Now, when I say unconscious, when I speak about unconscious, we're talking about the limbic system. We're talking about how the hippocampus and the amygdala and all the parts and pieces are actually bring it up, rewrite, put it back. And over time, as you have well known, memories do change. And of course, sitting around the dinner table talking to your friends, and they're talking about an event that happened, or your family, and they give you a story, and it's not the same event that you were at, because the memory has been recorded in its own unique style and way, which is not the way you remember it. And by the way, you think yours is right, they think theirs is right. That's when the fight starts. Right? So this is how brains work. So one of the most important things is how to be your own neuroplastician. Of course, there's a lot of research going on, and of course the scientists, they're wanting to inject a drug at the right neurology, right where the brain cells, and at the right moment, but they're going to have to pull the scalp open and look at the brain and inject a drug. But you don't need a drug. You really don't need a drug to rewrite your neurology. You just got to understand how the mechanics work. I know for you, and like with myself too, we've had some memories or experiences that we've been using to torment ourselves, taunt ourselves, and repeat over and over and over again. So the question is, do you want to spend a lot of years in therapy talking about your problem? By the way, talking about your problems is rehearsing the problems, understanding logically how, what, where, and why, and all the resources of the proof that you should have a problem. It doesn't change the problem. It just helps you have an understanding, and better yet, like the guy who came to see me, this is a true story, by the way. He went into psychotherapy 7 years ago with one fear, and he had a fear of trees. And of course, 7 years later, he calls me, he has like 20-something fears, but I think he's had 27 different fears. And of course, he, just like the other lady I worked with, just even the same day, which is real bizarre, she had a bizarre fear of birds. Not just any birds, but dead birds. And of course, I asked them both the same question. I said, what is it about trees? What is it about dead birds that really scare you? And they both said the same thing. You just don't know what they're up to. Think about that one. So anyway, I started working on them. And of course, by the way, if you understand the brain as a metaphoric machine, it means it takes experiences of your life and it does all these different things. And then all of a sudden, it starts to express today, right here in front of you. You see me, and how you see me is your metaphoric expression, the world with your past. And of course, we distort it to match our own inner production of our own world. So this is what I do. I help you to change you. And I bet you have memories that are unpleasant. I bet you have stuff that your brain is using against you. And you even talk to your brain like it's an own entity of itself. It makes me feel bad. It keeps me up at night. And of course, it makes me keep repeating depression, bad relationships, fears, phobias, and trauma. But here's the deal. If you don't change your internal resources, you don't change. Matter of fact, you have a tendency to repeat the cycle. And of course, if you want to improve your wealth, you want to improve your health, you want to improve your relationships, you want to improve your whatever, it all starts one place, and that's right here, and knowing how your brain works and knowing how to change your brain's resources. Changing your brain's resources is what manifests and creates. So you don't realize that your today's problems, your health issues, your relationship issues, your financial issues, all your issues are not actually issues. It's your great brain's ability to create, and it's a manifester and it creates, but it's using data that's no longer helpful and beneficial, and it's recorded from inside your head. And it started at birth all the way to present. And the weird thing is, like, you can walk across the street, or you can type on your computer, or you pick up a phone and dial. You do it without thinking, because it becomes the metaphoric expression of all resources. And being ignorant of the smartest part about you, you'll continue the cycle over and over and over again. And if you're really serious about wanting to change your brain, you have to learn how it works. You have to know how it works. And there's only one guy that I know that I'm talking from, and it's me, who knows how to change you, and I'll show you how to do it too. But here's the deal. You can't do it sitting on your bum. You got to do something. And I don't know if you've seen some of these things that my videos, you can go watch videos that on YouTube here. You've definitely seen the stories of Heather. You see the stories of Tiffany. You see the stories of Rose Hartgrove. I just came from Australia. I did a Heal Your Body seminar, and this woman, Janelle has for 3 years been laying in bed, severe physical pain. She couldn't even go anywhere except to the doctor and back home. Her best friend dragged her to my seminar, even paid for her seminar, I believe. And I pulled her up front. I addressed one of the biggest emotional issues, and it was the death of her sister. Now, of course, when she came to the seminar, she had this bag full of goodies that will help numb the pain. She had aspirin, she had her hot pack, she had all these stuff to help deal with the pain of the day, because she's never even left the home basically for any amount of time except to the doctor and back, and she's going to spend 4 days with me. I pulled her up front. Now this woman is an amazing woman, but she was carrying a lot of emotional baggage. And I pulled her up and I addressed one of the biggest emotional memories that had impacted her entire life, because it was started with a relationship with her sister. And you would not believe this woman. The 4 days, she was no longer dragging her stuff with her for the pain, to numb the pain, because she didn't have pain. And I came back to do level 1 in Brisbane, and this woman is not the same woman. She's smiling, she's laughing, she's having fun. She's been tapping like a very intelligent person, which you should be one, is tapping on her stuff, and she has changed, and she's changing. She's happier, she's smarter, she feels better. You need that. And the only way to do that is to learn to do it my way. I mean, my way is basically a mixture of how the neurology works, how the limbic system, how your brain encodes memory, how your brain actually manifests and creates from its internal resources, and how to get those memories that you don't even know that they're. How to address the stuff you don't know how to address. Because I know how to do it, and I've been doing it successfully over and over again. This is direct mindfulness 101. Direct mindfulness doesn't mean you need to sit and meditate for hours and hours and hours. You can do it in a few seconds, in a few minutes. Because I do travel around the world, and you go, guys, you know how many cities are in the world? A lot of them. There's only one Robert. There's only one Robert. So if I come to Adelaide, if you're in Perth, come to Adelaide. If I come to Brisbane, and if you're in Melbourne, come to Brisbane. You need to come to me, because I can only do so much. But here's the deal. If you can't come to see me because you're in a country that I'm not visiting, you can do the online level 1 course. It teaches you how your brain works. And if you can't come to, like you guys in Europe, I get people writing me all the time, come to Germany, come to England, come to Spain, come to all these different countries. I'm coming to Greece. I'm going to be in Greece this month, in May. Watch my videos and tap that fear out. Hire one of my practitioners and let them clean this fear up. We get rid of fears very, very quickly. So anyway, so here it is. I'm in America. I'm right here in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is the center of the universe, and you can easily fly and come and see me. So anyway, so here's the point. I'm coming to Europe, and I'll be there this month in Greece. The beautiful part about Greece, if you're in London, you can fly to Greece for about £100 round trip. The cool thing is the room rental is extremely cheap compared to anything if you were to rent in London by 1/5 or 1/10. It's so cheap. The food is great, the sunshine's great, and the sea is nice and waiting for us to go take a swim. So come to Greece. Those of you in Europe, book your bags, come and see us. It will change your life. I guarantee you. I tell the people, guys, look around, and this is the first day. Look at these faces. By the time we get to the day 7 of the seminar, this is a retreat. This is a heal yourself retreat. Day 7, look at the faces. They're smiling, they're happier, they feel better, they act better. And they have created a life change. And this is something you need, I need, and I've been doing it for years. And there's no other expert who can create the amount of change in the least amount of time and then what we're doing. And I'm showing you how to change you. So anyway, those of you who can't come who's in Europe, come and see us. It'll change your life. I guarantee you that. And then those of you who cannot come because of finances or physical health, do the level 1 online course. It's basically the same system, except I'm not there live, and you get to watch it over and over again, just in case you miss something the first time, because it is very rich. And I'm also, let's say, I'm doing level 1 and 2 in Greece this month. This is May. And then I'm coming back to Oklahoma, and I got a level 4, and also in the weekend 2-day course. And by the way, my 2-day course, listen to this, guys, 97 bucks, not 399 bucks that I have been doing. I decided, hey, listen, I want to help more people. 97 bucks will help me cover the bills. Come to Oklahoma, 2-day seminar. It'll help straighten your head up. Also, come to Greece. Also got Greece, I got Las Vegas. Oh, Heal Your Body. We got the Heal Your Body seminar in September in Las Vegas. And it's a 4-day course, and you can watch people change right there too. And if you need to help changes, we'll help you do that. Anyway, that's Robert. I thought I'd jump out here before the sun sets and give you a shout saying, hey, I'm coming to Greece, and I'd love to see you there. Guys, do what you can. You know, you've been watching videos here on YouTube. Do what you can. If you want more, come and see us. I'll change your life. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. I won't delete this, I don't think. Peace. Talk to you later, guys. Love you. How do we stop this? How do you stop this? Fairhine, come to Atlanta. There we go.